what you want. So you know, and I love it. So we're talking about this. I always ask artists, 'cause I think it's very unique and just how to see that different styles. What is one of your all-time go-to songs? Like, say, if the crowd is not rocking or the crowd is rocking, but you're like, man, but y'all ain't even ready for this. Yeah, I'm putting it on the spot. I'm putting your go-to, baby, or one of you can always expect to hear when you hear Angela Monique get on the stage and before she leave or before she start, when she gets started, whatever.
I would have to say one song that I probably leave with the most because it's so intense and it's fun. And I rap at the end of it would have to be Party by Beyonce.
You know what? You did enjoy it too. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a crowd favorite.
Yes.
It's high energy.
Yes.
It make you feel good, make people get up and dance. And then they love the Biggie rap at the end. So, you know, it gives them kind of a mixture of hip hop and, you know, party music. So that's a good one.
Okay.
36 Unfiltered, aka the Unfiltered Room with Mr. E. Gray. Introducing all the latest names and the latest news. Hottest take, he the new face, yeah, the new sound, but keep it old school. Raw interviews from local athletes, even digging out for entertainment too. Own style, he got his own lane, it's unfiltered out, we keep it raw, man. New content to keep the people ready. E36, no Jerome, baby, it's real dialogue and real conversations. You keep it real, but we real. Mr. E. Gray in the building. E36 Unfiltered.
What's up, everybody? How you doing? It's your boy E. Gray from the E36 Unfiltered podcast. Guys, I know you in here making sure you tune in. Go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure you hit that share button. Again, hit that like button, hit that share button, because it's about to go down to hashtag E36. Again, I'm going to flash that for you guys. Hashtag E36. You know what time it is. We have a special guest, another edition in here. And then before I get to that, we do apologize for the delay. But we had some technical difficulties going on. Got everything ironed out and taken care of, because we want to make sure we bring you the best A quality that we have to offer. So, other than that, like I said, if we can get the show on the road, we have a special guest in here tonight from the 256, North Alabama, Katy, Alabama, R&B and soul artist, Angela Monique. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. You know, it's great to have somebody back in the studio live, man. It's the first time since the early part of this year that I had this, since the old, and word of Kevin Hart, since the vid hit, you know. So I'm actually looking down, like, I forgot, I got my guest right here in front of me. So anyway, glad to have you here. And in the spirit of everything we got going on, you kind of made a special request, that I had asked him, like, to have my guests to be, comfortable as possible. I'm like, hey, we got something to drink. What we want to go with? So she just put me on something new. We're going to have a little Angela special Stella Rosa Moscato here. So we're going to go ahead, before we get the show on the road, we can go ahead and give a little quick pour up for the show to get us right. You with that? You okay with that?
That's fine.
Let's see with that. So we'll get this thing started, guys. Again, like you said, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button. Again, hit that like button, hit that share button, hashtag E36. And I'm gonna go ahead and write text us real quick so I can let the fellas know there's something y'all want to get involved in as well for the future. You know what I'm saying? You may want to add some in, because I'm not a wine drinker or whatever, but if it tastes right, maybe adding this, fellas. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Anyway, we don't want to take much time, because I'm gonna finish pouring this. I kind of trying to get a little fancy and give a little different pour thing going on.
You're pouring slow.
I know. It's supposed to be fast. I'm like, oh, what's up with this thing? Get it going. So I told you that we live on air with this. I'm gonna have to just put it up later on. Man. Take a little too long for my liking. Anyway, like I said, so how things been going with you?
Things are going well, going pretty good.
Yes.
Music is going well. New mom, new wife.
Yeah.
Life is good.
Okay.
Working in school. Got a lot going on.
Oh, okay. So you're doing a little bit of that, all of it. So speaking of that, in school and everything, and your music and all the stuff you got going on, how has everything changed for you? Like, as an artist, I know it's entertainment that I'm in, the acting and whatever I got going on. It became a little difficult with this COVID-19. I mean, when COVID hit, it put a halt to everything for me. So how did that affect you as an artist? Because you're really jumping back into the scene, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, it's go time. Then life said, no, it's stop time.
Right.
How did you make that adjustment? How was it?
Well, for me, when COVID hit, I was pregnant. with JoJo.
Okay.
So I was slowing down anyway. And
Yeah.
so having her, so I know it's going to take a break.
Gotcha.
And then after having her, there hasn't been a lot of, you know, gigs and just people just wanting artists to be on platforms or just any events available because of how COVID has made us have to social distance so much, or, you know, gathering in crowds and stuff like that. So it's slowly starting to kind of pick up because people are starting to get a little bit more comfortable. I don't know if that's good or bad, but a little more comfortable, especially with outside events. But then we're getting ready to run into it being cold. So who wants to be outside when it's cold? So, you know, it's kind of tough right now. I think I can speak for a lot of artists right now in this area. It's just tougher. You're not getting the calls like you normally would or the opportunities. So we're getting creative. You know, a lot of artists are doing like live shows, video, virtual shows, you know, putting their Cashapp or different things that they have to people to donate just to help them out, because a lot of my artist friends don't work. I have actually have a secular job as well. So, but for those who don't work, you know, it's a little tougher, but I haven't just coming back. I wanted to ease back anyway from just having the baby. I've done a couple of different things since coming back after having her during COVID, and they've both been outside. So it's been good.
Yeah. Speaking of that, you're right. I actually caught you 2 shows. So the first show I caught you, I got to see you, was at what's that place called? Low Mills. Yeah, Low Mills. My cousin let the perform in Pat Jamar, you know, so I'm always rocking with my man, my cousin. And so like, who was it? She's like, yeah, remember that? Because my wife's with me. She's like, that's Angela. I said, the part. Angela's the next. He said,
I grew up with your wife.
Yeah, that's what she
down
was
the
saying.
street.
Yeah, that's what she was saying. So I'm like, oh, okay. So caught you there at the show then. I'm like, okay, you know what? Yeah, let's get on the show. And she gonna beat me if I don't say this. She was like, I told you a long time ago you should go ahead and have on the show. And now you have on the show. I'm like, yeah, I know what you mean. I wasn't even wrong with the times that things happen with the vid, you know? And so I had to go on, put it on blast, that she put me on blast. But anyway, then the second time you did a phenomenal job. I'm like, okay, yo, I like this. And at that time I had never heard you perform. I had never, you know, that was the first time. Then the second time was Stovehouse. Yeah, that was like maybe a month ago, maybe or so, probably maybe a little bit longer, maybe. Yeah. And from that point on, like, oh, yo, yeah, I like the vibe, because, you know, got a chance to see how you vibe with the people and just in general and everything. And I'm like, okay, so she with it, she on this, she really with this, you know what I'm saying? So like, okay, work something out, hopefully get a chance to get on the show, and thankfully, not much longer after, you are on here.
That's right.
Yeah. So you did that, man. I really enjoyed it. So my question for you is, looking into everything with everything that's going on for this year, with the new beginnings, you was on your grind. So I went back to your book and I saw you did a performance. I don't know where you was at. Did a performance. You was 9 months pregnant. Stuffing it out there, like putting it down. I'm like, dang, like she didn't care, like she was in this game going hard. That's when you know you love it. So where was that at? And tell me about that performance. I think you was with some cats or something, you called them, something like that.
So shout out to the Cats Downstairs. That's my band from Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
I rocked with them before I moved here, and so it's 2 vocalists, me and my homegirl Shekinah. And she was getting married that weekend. So I told her, I was like, as long as I haven't had JoJo, I'll be there. So I was for a full 9 months pregnant, was set to have Jordan 2 weeks later, and we drove 8 hours. Woo. And so that night they had a show at Cuba Libre. That's the place that they frequent, have a residency there. And so I went up there and she just said, whatever you feel like doing, you can do and pick what songs you're going to sing with us out of our set list. And we just got it in. I enjoyed I loved it. Going back looking at the videos, I was like, man, I was all the way pregnant.
Yeah.
In heels.
You was there. In heels. Yeah,
in
heels. And singing. And y'all had a nice little vibe going on. Y'all had to throw a Jamaican beat to it.
That's right.
A particular song. I can't think of what the song was.
Hello. From Adele.
Okay, yes. I'm like, how'd you do that? But y'all made it work. You did it, and it was really fly. So speaking of that, Jacksonville, you was here and you moved down to Jacksonville.
Right.
Is that kind of when you immersed yourself into the music scene for real, and how it got going? And tell us a little bit about how that even transitioned to Jacksonville and how you got into the music scene down there?
Absolutely. So moving to Jacksonville, I moved to Jacksonville as a church girl. I didn't know anything about singing with a band, singing on any other stage but church.
Okay.
And so when I got there, Jacksonville is very evolved. So they have theater, they have musical theater, they have bands galore that play every night, any night of the week. You want to get up and hear live music. That's the culture there, which is different than here.
Wow. Okay.
DJs are the culture here, and I think live music is trying to make its way. But there, that's what people do. They go listen to live music. So I started out. I auditioned for a Color Purple show and got cast for that, and met people and just started networking. And so I went to an open mic night, and at this place called Duke's Place. And I did a open mic song, just got up there. From that night, the guy that was over the band asked me, would I be the house vocalist? Wow. From that point on, I began to get gigs, and then I got asked to be a part of one of the biggest bands in Jacksonville, which is the Cats Downstairs.
Okay.
And from that point on, it just became a way of life. I gigged every weekend, Fridays, Saturdays, some Sundays. This is every weekend. That was just the life.
You got bit by the bug, huh?
So, and I was in Jacksonville for 10 years. Wow. So, well, maybe a little shy of 2 years, maybe 9.5 years. But before I moved back, so that's what I knew: theater, and of course, still church. Now that still is the foundation, and I still sing in church. But also that was just singing on live secular audiences and stages. It was a major part of my life too. So great experience. I love it. So coming back here, I want to share. I feel like what I learned, that was kind of like my college, that experience as far as music goes. I learned so much about myself and things that I didn't know about myself when I left here. And as an artist, that I had what it takes to be a lead singer or, hold my own with the band. I didn't know anything about that until I went there. So I'm grateful for the experience and opportunity of being there.
Cool. You know what? I didn't know the scene was like that down in Jacksonville.
Oh, it's heavy.
The music scene is heavy like that, and like I said, it definitely. So it sounded like that was your training ground that helped you train you, stage, getting everything right, and just broke you off into like, okay, like you said, I can do this. I can be that lead vocalist. Now, with that being said, you like I said, you made that transition down there. You was down there. So what brought you back to Huntsville, Alabama? What brought you back? Because you came back in what, 2018?
I did.
What's some of the, I can say what thing, but what's some of the things that brought you back here, and what was your goals arriving back into the scene? So
in 2018, I lost my mom. So she passed away in February.
Okay.
And so I was far away when she passed. As a matter of fact, I was set to get there on Tuesday, and she passed away on Monday. So that was, heavy for me. So I missed her passing. And so I have one living parent left. And so wanted to be closer. So initially I was thinking to myself, I may just move to a closer city, or maybe think about moving to Atlanta or Birmingham one day, I met somebody around that time. And so, and we were just good on just doing a long distance situation for a while. Neither one of us really had the mindset that it was going to be anything, I can't say,
that's
just
what
somebody to, kick it with when you're in town. And because I never really kicked it with anybody when I got here. I didn't really come visit often. So then I began to visit more often, and that particular person began to visit Jacksonville more often.
Yeah.
So it became serious. So now I was in that situation where it was a decision. If this is something that we wanted to pursue, then like, is it really something for me to move here? Is that a possibility?
Sorry about that.
Is it a possibility for me to actually move here, and how could we make it happen? If we were going to do it. So I made the decision to go ahead and move back, and I was able to be closer to my family, and B, I was able to be with my now husband, and pursue a relationship that then progressed to marriage.
Okay. So, I love that, man. And I like of course, I always got to tease about that, because I had someone particular in my life that was away as well. You know her, and it's like, I was just, visiting. Now the
That's
visit
right.
became a little more frequent than her mom. Like, hey, you come here more often than you ever do, And now she's here, and
That's right.
I think I can say that played a little role in that.
That's my dad said. He was like, Angela never visit as much as she, and I didn't visit much,
Yeah. I
it was
understand.
okay.
It happened, but it happened. Everything worked out for us good. Now it kind of segues into another segment that is crazy because we was talking a little bit off air about your mother, Lena Warrior, Pastor Lena Warrior, and her passing, and it was so ironic that I never knew because actually was gone, and it's crazy. Around that time when you probably left, I wasn't even living here myself, so I had been gone. So anyway, we never crossed paths. Found out that my wife and you actually grew up on the same street and everything. Small world, but I remember certain things about your mother from my mother and kind of with her that stuck with me forever, and that was she was so ahead of her time in the aspect of where she wasn't being allowed herself to ever be confined from a standpoint of humane standpoint, a spiritual standpoint, always encouraging, always pushing people to go beyond their limits and against their limits. But what you think you can do far more a lot of times. Right. She encouraged my mother. My mother used to do plays, which is something that I'm like, play? Why you gonna play? What you? Yeah, I'm gonna play, honey. They should got me in there. I didn't want to do it. And I remember one time my mother even crying because she was nervous about going on stage and having to say something. And we were like, I said, you can do this. This is what you can do this, And I remember she was like, yeah, what Pastor Warrior said. She said, baby, it's time for you to step out. You got to do this. You got to go. Forget what people may say or think, or if you think you can't do this, do that, those limitations. And she was always about not placing limitations on someone,
That's right.
Especially in a world, they say a male dominated world.
Yeah.
She was not confined by that. And that same strength and that boldness, I can see that definitely when you on that stage, like boom, it's there. You know what I'm saying? You coming with it, you commanding the room. How much of the influence does your mom and your parents in general have on you? Because again, you was a church girl, so a PK kid. And now you out there singing on the stage and everything, and not always singing the back to the gospel. So how encouraging and how was that transition for you going through that process? How much they play a role in it?
So my parents were very instrumental in just encouraging me to always follow my dreams. And when I moved to Jacksonville and became involved in a lot of more things and started singing more, they were super excited. My father, of course, he was excited, but he's a pastor. So a lot of times he had to stay back. But my mom would drive 8 hours if I had a show with 10,000 people versus a show with 10 people. She wanted to be everything. She invested in me. Was my biggest fan. Yes. Like I mean, nobody else rooted for me or believed in me more than she did. And like you said, even with your mom, that play was her baby. And anybody that she talked to or ran into, and she'd be like, "You want to be a part of my play? Girl, we going on the road."
Her she had a big staff. Her big crew.
Everybody. Because she just liked to, if you want to do something, she didn't want people to just sit and be complacent and not feel like they're living and thriving. So people her age who weren't doing anything, she encouraged them to, hey, come on, we'll find any role for you. So she was very instrumental in just helping me and to realize that I can live, and even foundation being the church, but knowing how to balance and live in moderation, loving God, but not saying that I can't live in my liberty and my Christian liberties and freedoms and respect the spiritual part of my life and still enjoy those things that we may call secular without disrespecting my faith. And I know when I first started singing on a secular stage, I called her and I asked her, did she feel like it was wrong for me to lead praise and worship? And also on Saturdays or Fridays, I would sing music that maybe some church people didn't find respectful to God. And, to be honest with you, when I'm on stage, I sing to make people feel, whether I'm in the house of the Lord, whether I am on the stage at the Stove House. I have people come up to me saying, I know we wasn't in church, but I just felt something different. And I think that, it's what's in you. Spiritual people call it the anointing. Some other people call it a gift or a talent or something that you possess. Whatever you call it, if it's in you, it's in you.
True.
And so she made sure that she always fed into that, cultivated that. And I'm here, continuing to drive because I don't want what she put into me to die.
Yes.
You know, just because she may not be here earthly, everything I do, I want to make sure that, you know, she's a part of that.
Yes, yes.
So wherever I go, I always, a lot of times I mention her because she's a great piece of that and where I'm going and where I'm at.
Love it, love it, love it. I couldn't agree more, man. Definitely a stable that that will be dismissed but not forgotten.
That's right.
So let's segue into something else real quick. Before I do that, let's go ahead and make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button again, hit that like button, hit that share button, and hashtag E36 if you are enjoying what you're hearing, which I know you guys are. And we're gonna have a treat for you guys towards the end as well. Somebody gonna give a little quick show, you know what I'm saying? So all you guys who have not heard, you got a performer on the stage in here today. It's not me, definitely not me. No. So you guys can pick who you think it may be. And also shout out to the Stella Rosa, man. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, we didn't do a toast. So we're gonna do a quick toast here to greatness and a longevity of career for both. So that's what we're gonna do. Fellas, yo, I'm just telling you guys, check me out. Look, I like a strong drink like anybody else, but so you gotta be able to kind of chill, let the thing just marinate a little bit. So you know what I'm saying? Ladies, you know, the wife, your girl, or whatever, want to marinate a little bit. So you're gonna get the little Stella Rosa, man. You know, it ain't much too bubbly and everything. So just kind of give a little segue, man. Yo, y'all need to pay me. Give y'all some shout out, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, we're gonna get the show back on the road. Going into that now, we're looking into the music scene now, and you have a very unique style. I put it as R&B and soul artist. Talk about some of your biggest influences growing up in your music and who you kind of pattern your style after. Ooh. Anyway, a mixture, whoever it may be.
So, you know, growing up, of course, church was a huge part of my, you know, singing, and the influence came greatly from there. And then transitioning into the theater world, you know, you posture yourself to be bold on stage. And so I kind of just have taken from different places, but of course I give respect to every celebrity singer out there that have already arrived and made it. But there are so many friends of mine locally who have been great influences, you know, so many singers that people don't know about unless you are in their hometown. Gotcha. That we sit around in our living room and we encourage each other and we boost each other and show and develop. Like a lot of that development happens in your own personal space that people don't even see. And then we give credit to the greats, which they deserve. But what about that friend that, hey, did you sound a mess?
It's progressive, yo. We used to have a concert every Sunday, yo.
Look, like, I'm telling you.
I'm like, God, dog, if everybody can sing,
you gonna sing at Progressive.
Yeah, you know, what they call it, not the service, but the singing, and before even the praise team. Oh, that's about 35, 40 minutes of Progressive. Like, it's going to be a show, bro. You can have a mini concert no matter what. So vocalists, I already know. When you came from them doors on ground, and I'm talking about the church, even the church before when y'all was on old Moulton Road or whatever.
That's right.
When it was that small,
we was singing in there.
What? Like, it was packed out, get it in, turned up. So you had definitely had some real training ground.
My daddy,
a lot of games.
He's a good singer.
Still can sing. Oh my gosh.
They push you whether you were 5.
A couple albums. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm going to cut you off.
No. Well, no matter how old you were, if you could open your mouth to talk, you could sing. And don't get up there crying and acting like you don't want to sing.
Get scared?
No, they didn't play that.
Wipe them tears.
And get up and you sing.
Because you might get a whooping if you don't redo what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah.
So all of that, and then when I went to Jacksonville, I got connected with people that were just like that. One of my mentors is Beecham Lamar Clark, from True Purpose, and he's an awesome musician. But Lord Jesus, you can't even think about not singing, or try to limit yourself. You know, I've just been connected with pushers that I'm not able to just be comfortable. They push me to be better. Yes. You know, so I think I have definitely been honored and blessed to be connected with those type of people in my life.
Okay. I love it. So let's talk about this. When you come to Angela Monique show, those who never have heard you, maybe the first time hearing you on the E36 show, what kind of show can they expect from you, and what kind of feel you are bringing to the table?
Oh, you definitely gonna get a journey. You know, it's definitely going to be messages. I try to select songs when I'm creating a set, not just because, you know,
Next
it's
question.
popular. I like songs that speak to you, make you feel good, remind you of something,
Yes.
Encourage you in some type of way. Love, I love singing about love. You know, whether I'm in love or not in love, you know, you know, those things that really, because I want you to leave and feel like, man, you know, I want you to remember name first and foremost, but I want you to feel some type of way. I know whatever way that is, but I want you to feel some type of way. And a lot of times people come to a show that I'm a part of and they feel some type of way when they leave. And even if they can't explain the feeling, they know it's something. So you're going to get that consistently.
Yes.
Every time, because I put it all out there. I put myself on there. I leave, whether I leave out with no voice afterwards, you're going to get all of me every show.
And that's what you want.
That's what you
want. So, you know, and I love it. So we're talking about this. I always ask artists, 'cause I think it's very unique and just how to see that different styles. What is one of your all-time go-to songs? Like, say, if the crowd is not rocking or the crowd is rocking, but you're like, man, but y'all ain't even ready for this. Yeah, I'm putting it on the spot. I'm putting your go-to, baby, or one of you can always expect to hear when you hear Angela Monique get on the stage and before she leave or before she start, when she gets started, whatever.
I would have to say one song that I probably leave with the most because it's so intense and it's fun. And I rap at the end of it. Would have to be Party by Beyonce.
You know what, you did enjoy it too. Yeah. Okay.
That's a crowd favorite. It's high energy.
Yes.
It make you feel good, make people get up and dance, and then they love the Biggie rap at the end. So, you know, it gives them kind of a mixture of hip hop and, you know, party music. So that's a good one.
Okay. Gotcha. Now you're back here in Huntsville. You've been here roughly 2 years, close to 2 years now. What have you seen from the music scene from when you was here to versus you coming back now, whether good or bad, indifferent or whatever, that you have noticed, especially in the Huntsville music scene that's coming up now?
Well, I would have to say progress. I see that there's trying to be an evolution to kind of give more opportunities for people to use their gifts in different platforms. Like I have to give shout out to R&B Vibe Live, who creates platforms for different artists, local artists, to be heard and to use their gifts. You know, a lot of times artists can't make money, they can't sell records if no one hears them, and a lot of times we're not just don't download your stuff just because your name. We want to know you can sing. You can bring. You know, we want to know you can bring it. And so I see that Huntsville is trying to just create those platforms for artists like myself, to get on the stage and just show ourselves and give of ourselves and allow people to grasp and say, hey, okay, I feel her. I'll rock with her. I'll buy her album. I'll come to her concert. You know, and I can appreciate that, because sometimes, I mean, we place like stuff like The Voice or American Idol, you know, we might be able to stand in line all day and jump on that, and we might get selected, we might not, you know what I mean? And you don't want that to be your only opportunity.
Like, so, it's too many people.
Everybody wants to get on there.
Come on. You know
everybody.
You might not be able to respect my vocals or what I'm bringing. What I'm bringing just because you don't like
in that moment.
Not solidify. Exactly.
You gave me 2 minutes to try to tell you, show you, you know
who I am from the top to the bottom. Like, bro, come to my show. You know.
That's right. So you got your Stove House, your camps, you know, different places like that. The music halls that's now saying, okay, y'all come in and we'll bring you in on a Friday night and invite your friends and we'll give you a stage. So that's definitely different than what it was when I left here.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, shout out to R&B Live. You guys are here, R&B Live. Make sure y'all check them out, man. Salute them for what they're doing. Let me think. Mario Maitland, man, is creating a lot of opportunity for people working on things. And with his conservatory, I had him on a couple of months back. I've been knowing the guy for a long time, man. And to see his growth and his maturity is a beautiful thing.
Introducing all the latest names in the latest news. He the new face, the new sound. Keep it old school. Raw interviews from local athletes, even digging out for entertainment too. Own style, he got his own lane. It's unfiltered out, we keep it raw, man. New content to keep the people ready. E36, no Jerome Bait. It's real dialogue and real conversations. You keep it